about Judge Fernando Tapia. There's so much to say, but Judge Fernando Tapia was born in Harlem, USA, in the Harlem Hospital in New York City, was raised and educated in Bronx public schools, received his Juris Doctorate from Dickerson School of Law, and was admitted to the bar, New York State Appellate Division, First Department, and became a community attorney. He practiced law. He advocated for his community. Whenever something was going down, didn't matter what, it was never scare upon him to say, presente. And he would come and present to the community. In that true progressive grassroots fashion, in 2003, the community drafted him to run for a Bronx Civil Court. In 2003, an insurgent candidate it was, the people were born right, and Judge Fernando Tapia was elected to the Bronx Civil Court. In 2010, his peers chose him and appointed him for acting Supreme Court. And in 2012, he was nominated by the party unanimously and elected in his full right as Supreme Court Justice. And I'm going to tell you, we've been together working on this. The senator has met months and months ago talking about this, and you know, all the elected officials were on board, but this is the real deal, and we want to make sure this happens. Carlton Berkeley, aka Chucky, a lifelong New Yorker born in Harlem, currently residing in the Bronx. He's married over 28 years, proud family of 3, attends Walker Memorial Baptist Church. He's the co-founder of the Brothers and Sisters Who Care organization, graduated from John Jay College, received his Bachelor of Arts in Criminal Justice. He joined the police department, serving on the line, July 16, 1984, retired 2004. While working for the New York Department, Carlton worked in specialized undercover narcotics and detective bureau. Carlton was promoted from police officer to second grade detective. These units and experience gave Carlton greater understanding of how NYPD operates. Carlton has spoken out against several controversial shootings and incidents and has worked very diligently to alleviate the problems and tensions on both sides. Without further ado, the Honorable Fernando Tapia and Carlton Berkeley.
Should I stand? Should I sit?
Pick up the judge.
Well, I'll make it brief. First of all, we're going to have a different form. First of all, I want to thank Rafael, Kenny, my lovely Norma, Nelson, the Bronx Park East Association, for giving us this opportunity to be here today to talk about a very, very important issue. One that very few people know about, but one that has been allowed to continue in a way where it's almost worrisome and it's sort of scary that it's been allowed to continue as long as it has. I must say that Senator Jeff Klein is completely on board on this, and I got to say that Jeff Klein has been very, very, very supportive. And hopefully, when I spoke to Jeff at the Arlington Homeowners banquet, he indicated to me that he believes, he said, Judge, I think we'll make it happen this year. I think we'll make it happen. And Mark Jonah has been one, Assemblyman has been with us from day one. No matter how small the meeting has been, no matter how removed that meeting has been, no matter how late or early, he's always been there. And I got to say that. Mark has always been there. Once again, he's completely on board. And it's true what Will Madonna says. There has been one bill that has been so far in the Assembly passed. It is a piecemeal bill. It is a bill that's referred to as a shot across the bow. It just opens up the discussion. But I'm not going to belabor, the other issues. I'm going to, approach it in the following manner. I had Carlton Berkeley, who's a member of the Discovery for Justice, committee, which has, for the most part, spearheaded this effort to try to do away with this particular law. And if you leave here with nothing else other than what I'm going to tell you, I want you to remember these 3 numbers: 240, 240, and in front of 240, there's 3 letters: CPL, Criminal Procedure Law 240. Why is that significant for you to remember and to know, and to hopefully become an advocate in our efforts to bring about some change and repealing this law? I'm going to shortly turn the floor over to Carlton Berkeley because it's very important, first of all, that this effort to change and do away with this particular law is not one that's perceived to be only within the responsibility or the efforts of the legal community. It's not about judges. It's not about lawyers. It's not about elected officials, although they have the final say. It's about you, the community residents, because this law, if God forbid you should ever fall into the ambits of the criminal justice system, you're going to feel the effects. And this is not mild effects. It is almost like a sledgehammer effect. And you'll begin to see how helpless, how ineffective, and how frightening it can be when you get caught up in the criminal justice system. Think of the criminal justice system as a huge, let's say, whale that can just jaws, a huge jaw that can just crunch, crunch. Anybody that falls in the jaws of that particular behemoth gets chewed up and spat out. It doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter how rich you are, it doesn't matter whether you're black, whether you're white, whether you're yellow, whether you're purple, whether you're rich or whether you're poor, it all affects all of us. But because of the fact that many of us in the community are ignorant that this law even exists, let alone what it stands for, we have chosen to bring it out to the community because it is you, the community members, who will have the final say, because it is you and myself who will feel the sting if we should ever fall victim or prey to that system. Now let me just say one thing, because I want to make it absolutely clear. Neither Mr. Berkeley nor I are here to bash anyone. We're not here to bash prosecutors. We're not here to bash police officers. After all, Carlton Berkeley is a retired police detective. We have other law enforcement officials on board with this committee. We run the full range of community people who are community activists, to teachers, to lawyers, to police officers, you name it, we have it. And it's a small group at this point, there's only 12 of us. But we've attempted to try to reach out to those individuals in the community that can make things happen, such as Norma, such as Kenny Agosto, who's always been in our corner, such as Raphael at this point. He's a young man, he inspires me because I see him and he has that energy, and that's what we need to get the ball rolling. So at this point, I'm going to turn the floor over to Carlton Berkeley. It's going to be his show at this point. I talk too much because I've never known a judge who didn't know a mic that he didn't like.